The top of the T-nut to hold the T-nut to the rubber. I'm going to back that nut out, or the bolt out, then turn it back in again. It puts glue into the threads, and once the glue's in the threads, we'll make sure that there's no friction on the wheel. We'll back that nut off until we got a good roll. Good. Then we'll hit some accelerator on there. And we'll do both of them the same way. Back the threads out, let the glue get into the threads, bring it back tight again. Make sure the wheel's rolling free, and then squirt it. Now I'm going to take the little the fiberglass leg, the 1/8 inch fiberglass landing gear leg, and I'm just going to scratch the surface here at one end. We'll put the regular CA right on that end that we just scratched off. You want to cover the whole last 1/4 inch of that, all the way around. And then I'll hold that wheel, and with that leg pushing straight down, keep it away from your eyes, and push it down into that rubber grommet, and it'll go in just like that. It's C8 in there. A little bit of, go ahead and squirt it. Set it aside. We'll do the other one. And it's the last 1/4 inch of this thing's got CA all the way around it. Keep rolling it so it doesn't drip off. Then hold that wheel and just push it straight down in there until it stops. Use good force. A little bit of accelerator. Okay. Now back to our football guys here. These are for our supports for our landing gear. Now what we're going to do is we never want this thing to go back any further than the leading edge of the wing. That'd be ideally for like if you only flew off asphalt. You know, that probably gives the airplane the best stance and the best look. But it has a little bit of problem taking off on grass or dirt runways. So what we do is the rougher your field is, the further forward we move this. And we always want to keep the bottom of the football flush with the bottom of the fuselage. But you're going to kind of make a decision where you want it. I usually go kind of about 1 inch or so in front of the leading edge of the wing. It allows for a good look, and still I can fly off fairly rough surfaces. If the surface gets too rough, I just hand launch the airplane. But we're going to pick a spot that we like. I'm going to go right there. That's about 1 inch or so in front of the leading edge of the wing. And we'll get back to the foam safe CA. Put it all the way around the edge of the plywood, through the middle. And we'll set that right there just like so. Again, the bottom of the football is flush with the bottom of the fuselage. A little bit of accelerator. Now what we'll do is we'll take a small wire, maybe your X-Acto knife, and I'm going to poke a hole right in the corner of the little inside hole here. I'm going to poke a hole in each corner so that I can identify where the center is on the other side. You don't want to cut that area completely out. You just want to identify on the other side the inside corner. Now, as I did that, I can actually see the marks here on the fuselage where that inside hole is, and that'll allow me to glue this other football just on the other side of it perfectly. I'll just line those little holes up with the inside of the corners of the inside cutout. Foam safe glue all the way around. just like that. And squeeze it and then squirt it with some accelerator. Excellent. Now what I'll do is I'll take my landing gear, and either in the front corner, you know, the front or the back corner on the bottom of that football, I'm going to poke this landing gear leg right into there at the angle I'd like. It's about that angle for the landing gear. And just poke it through. You see it comes through the hole on that side. And we're going to shoot for aiming it right about a 1/4 inch in from the outside here. And then we'll work to make sure that it's not swept back or swept forward by sighting it from the side. So I'll just go ahead and set it in there where it looks pretty close. And then I'll study the airplane from this angle, make sure the gear is not swept forward or back. It's swept back there just a little bit. So I'll go ahead and move that landing gear back just a little bit. Give it another look. That looks good coming off of there, 90 degrees, good. Now sighting down the airplane from the bottom, we're going to be looking to make sure that we don't have a lot of toe in or toe out. What we're going to want is just a touch of toe in, or excuse me, toe out. Just the slightest amount of toe out. If anything, neutral to toe out, but don't do toe in. And what I'll do is I'm just going to use a drop or two of glue out here first. Don't use a lot. Just make sure it's tacked in there good. Squirt it with some accelerator. Check the toe out. Slide them out. Then we'll take the other leg, the other gear leg from the opposite side. And again at the bottom of the football, it's going to poke right on in, but this time in the opposite side. Say this one's in the back, and the one I'm poking in now is going to be just in front of it. Again, point to that same spot on the outside at a 1/4 inch in or so. Poke it into the foam, and then I'm going to be looking at it from this bottom view to get these two guys parallel to each other. Again, so we don't have one swept forward, one swept back. We'll just pay a little bit of attention here. Maybe take some measurements from here to here. Realize that this forward leg is going to be 1/8 of an inch further forward than the rear leg when you make measurements from here to in here. This one's going to be a little bit more forward. But it looks good. We'll put a drop of glue on there while watching our toe. Look straight down at it. Make sure your toe is good. A little bit toed out if anything. Squirt it. Let's go ahead and put the rudder right in the middle. We'll center that rudder up. And I'm going to get the airplane on its wheels. And we're going to be looking to make sure that the wingtips are equally off the ground. Now if one side's down, we can adjust those legs now. Moving the leg in or out here will adjust how the airplane sits. We're going to get that airplane sitting level. So that looks good the way it is. We're happy with it. The toe is good. We can really study it now. Spend your time, do some measurements. It's just tacked in there. You can break it loose if you need to. But this one's good. I'm going to go ahead and take the foam safe CA right in this area and glue it to the football and the foam. Be generous with the glue there. Hit it with the accelerator. Make sure nothing's dripping out the other side. You want to spray some accelerator on there so if it does drip through, it'll set up before it drips all over the place. And then we'll turn it over. Put some more glue on this side. Squirt it. And then what I'll end up doing is 3 or 4 times I'll go back and forth until I basically fill that whole area up with the glue. You may want to use epoxy with that too. A lot of guys will put epoxy in there, but it seems to be fine with just the CA. Just a little more expensive. Again, make sure it doesn't drip on you.